Hey guys, welcome back. The title of the video is going to be, is our education system broken or not? Is our education system broken or is it something else, to be honest? Let me know in the comments below what you guys think. Is the education system in America broken? And can we fix it? What do you guys think? My wife, she's a 5th grade teacher, and if any of you guys are married to teachers or around teachers, that's all they discuss, honestly, is the education system in this country. And because you know why? They're passionate about it. They really are. They really care about the students. Most of them do, all right? I would say probably 99% do, and maybe 1% just are there for the paycheck. Okay, but the majority of them don't work at schools for paychecks. They work because they care about the children, and they're frustrated. They are frustrated by all the old rules of which education is built on, as far as the legalities of how to educate our children, right? The legalities of what type of content they need to learn, or all the testing they have to do. It's weeks and weeks and weeks of testing. But where's the education? You know, if all we're doing is testing to determine growth, what about the education? What about the apprenticeship? What about all these things that made this country great? We've lost it, in my opinion. We've lost that apprenticeship or that journeyman or that field of educating another human being. You know, my wife and I, we discuss this at length all the time, and it's frustrating. You know, it even kind of affects our marriage in a sense. Like, I've got my opinion, she's got her opinion, but for the most part, we're on the same page at the end of the day. And the problem is all this standardized BS testing. And you know what it is? It's all these bureaucrats up in, state education boards that have, these hoity-toity master's degrees in psychology and child education, but yet they want to do this standardized testing. Is that really what is helping young children learn and grow and love learning? No, it doesn't help them one bit. And that's why I believe our education system is completely broken. All right, we're focused on the wrong things when it comes to our children. Take, for example, a child who, maybe can't figure out the math early on, and they're frustrated, and they're being told that they're wrong, that they got a 0 or whatever it is, and they're so young that honestly, there's probably something they thrive in, and that's what we need to focus on. Maybe that kid who can't do well at math, maybe they thrive in art or singing or whatever it is. You have to help them feel good about their learning experience, or they will never be able to pivot and learn how to read or learn how to do math or science because they hate school already early on because they failed at some point in their childhood. And that is the problem, is that we're pushing this failure rate or these grades at some level. And at the end of the day, when you think about it, AI is going to change the game altogether. Okay, AI can help a child do math when they grow mature enough and focused enough. Okay, so that's something we need to consider when we talk about trying to fix our education system. Not to mention, the pay for teachers is not that good. You know, if you want to find talent and people who are super enthusiastic about teaching, you definitely should pay them the right amount. Okay, so we've got some big problems there. And, I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how we're going to fix it. Do we want to pay more in taxes to fix it at the local level? Maybe, right? Maybe that's what we need to do. But, all these standardized tests have got to go bye-bye. Honestly, it's not doing us any good at all. So I do believe that our education system is broken. We need to fix it, and we need to fix it fast. It's the same education system I grew up with 40 years ago. There's not much difference, to be honest. So now, my second point of where we need to fix more so than the education system is our parenting. All right, our parenting, everything I talk about on this channel when it comes to parenting has to do with discipline and focus. When I have that video, Say No to Your Kids, it's all about discipline and focus. You have to have that in any field, whether it's art, music, math, science, engineering, the list goes on and on. You have to be able to focus. And if you don't say no to your kids, they'll never be able to focus. All right, that's the first thing. We'll just start there. And then, oh, wait, I got something. What about this stupid thing? This computer in my hand, all right? This is a big problem in our society. And we give our kids these things. Honestly, it frustrates me so much that I see children on these stupid smartphones. And that's a bigger problem than the education system. You know, let's talk real here. That is the fact of the matter. You could put in all the money you want into the education system. You could change it and improve it. Maybe we could help young children learn art if they need it, right? Maybe we could help children be successful and feel happy about school. But guess what? If the parents are losers and they don't know how to discipline and love their children, you can forget it, because you'll get some bad kid come into every classroom and disrupt the classroom every day. All right, I'll tell you what, if there's a disruptive kid in the classroom, you know what happens? They take all the other kids and they go out to the hallway and they keep that kid in there. You know, that's how a lot of schools operate, because they can't touch the kid, they can't take him away, right? You get my point? Is that if you get one bad apple, the rest lose out. That's how it works. And so we need to have some people in our bureaucracies actually, instead of being so compassionate for that one kid, maybe have a rule that says, hey, he's got to go to a special place because he's disrupting the rest of the children, okay? Because the parents suck. There's a kid at my wife's school that's got 60 days absent. They don't do truancy anymore. Truancy is a joke. Truancy is a joke. The bureaucracy and the police or whatever, they don't care about that. The prosecutors aren't going to prosecute parents for truancy. So what's the point in improving the education system if we can't even have a classroom that's rich in an environment that doesn't have kids that are throwing and spitting and whatever else in that classroom? Okay, it's pointless. I saw a CNN debate the other night. They had like 2 Republicans, 2 Democrats, and they were all arguing back and forth. And I was watching and kind of laughing. And one of them was, charter schools, blah, 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 and all that. And, some of the ideas are probably okay. But to be honest, none of it matters. None of it matters if these parents can't manage their children. And if we don't have rules to deal with the troubled children, there's no point. There's no point. All right, you can have a bad kid even in a private school or a charter school or whatever it is. Whatever system we decide to go with to fix the broken education system, we better fix the broken parenting system first, guys, because there's no point in spending all this money if we don't fix the broken parenting system. Maybe we need to have some, required classes for parents. Ooh, that would be a thought, right? Oh, here's your baby, good luck, right? That's what it is. Hey, maybe we need to say, hey, you got to pay $1,000 and go to parenting school, right? Say no to your kids, love your kids, spend time with your kids, eat at the dinner table with your kids, have your kids wash the dishes with you. The list goes on and on. Build generational wealth. That could be part of the class. You guys get what I'm saying, right? That's called common sense. We have lost our sense of common sense. And if you're going to be a parent, keep this in mind, honestly. Do not be a parent if you're going to, just half-ass it. If you want your kid to succeed in any level, start thinking this way. Forget the smart device. Stick to old school, type of tactics. Now, I don't mean like, corporal punishment or anything like that, but what I mean is, be firm with your children. Teach them discipline. Keep them focused. They have to be focused in order to learn and strive and be good at anything in life, whether it's art, music, math, teaching, band, whatever, They got to be focused at the end of the day. So I know I've been on a little bit of a rant. It's nice and sunny out. But you guys let me know, I'm sure I can get some good comments on this one. Let me know in the comments if, what your thoughts are. What should we do as far as education? And anyways, you guys have a great day. Hopefully you find some sun out there like I am right now. And take a look at my previous video if you could. And thanks, guys. Bye.